What's up, interwebs? I'm Tim Green. This is my writing channel, and you are listening to the first episode, Skyler Grant. My only novel I've ever written by pantsing it and finishing it. And this is it. And you're going to hear a very first draft version of the story, which will be read to you by my buddy Adam Daley of ZOP Gaming.
Hey, everybody!
This is his first time as a narrator, so he's not an actual traditional narrator.
No, I try to do it in one take.
No, you don't try, you just do it in one take.
It's because they call me One Take Daily.
No, they don't. No one calls you that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to start calling you that?
No, please.
That's what I thought. So what will happen here is Adam is going to read a chapter, and then afterwards we'll discuss that chapter. As each episode goes on, when more episodes come on and more chapters, we'll have more to talk about as the story progresses. I'm basically trying to remember what happened. So, yeah, this is going to be a refresher for me. And I'll talk about what I remember writing this. And maybe changes in everything I would make now if I was to rewrite it. So, with that said, before we get to the reading, if you go on to like this show, why not smash that like button, not push it. Smash that like button as a prayer to the holy algorithm. And, subscribe because awesome running content. With that all out of the way, let's get to the reading.
Skyler Grant. Written by Tim Green. Narrated by Adam Daley. Chapter 1. Is it true? Asked a thin woman with wavy blonde hair as she walked into the police station. Yes, said an officer behind the desk standing to give the thin woman a hug. They have him in the back and are questioning him. I want to see him. Hillary, said the officer, pulling back from the embrace. I'm not sure that is a good idea. Let the detectives deal with this. They will find where your daughter is. Ted, said Hillary, taking a seat. In a seat. It has been over 6 months. You don't have to act like my daughter is still alive. I have accepted that she is dead. Now I just want her body so I can give her a proper burial. Let me talk to him. Let's just see what the detectives find out. He might just tell them, especially how he was caught. Hillary leaned back into her chair. She took a deep breath, looked down at the floor. She couldn't believe that it was true. How after 6 months they finally caught her daughter's killer. Besides where her daughter's body laid, she wanted to know why. Why, after being on the run for so long, he just gave himself up. After a few moments, she picked her head up and looked at Officer Carey. So is it true? He just showed back up? Yes. 2 hours earlier. Sirens blared in the distance as a young, dark blonde-haired boy walked down the road from the high school, with a black zip-up hoodie left open on this beautiful spring day. The sun high in the sky, but one glance anyone could tell that it was early afternoon, slightly after 1. Under the hoodie, part of a dark blue shirt could be seen with the words, "Never Wrong," visible in golden letters. He worked in his dark blue jeans and black Converse All-Star shoes. The sirens slowly grew as the police cars grew closer, but this 14-year-old just kept walking. Someone had to have seen him while he was up at the high school. He was not there long, only to say hi to his best friend, Jared Jones. He left after talking to him briefly, then continued on his way. That was 10 minutes ago, and he was halfway to town, before the sirens even began to be heard. It had been a long time since the last time Skyler Grant had been home. As he walked along the road towards the small town of Red Creek, New York, he knew the sirens were coming for him, but he continued to walk. If he really wanted, he could jump the rail and disappear into the woods in seconds before the police even reached his location. The police wouldn't stand a chance of finding him in there. He grew up playing in those woods. He knew every trail like the back of his hand. He knew that at any moment on any of the trail he knew he could break trail and end up on another trail where on that trail. By the time the cops could get dogs up there to sniff him, he would be long gone, but Skyler continued to head towards the sirens. Several minutes had passed since the sirens begun resounded throughout the valley. Skyler reached a bridge, the 1 mile marker from town. He knew the police would be there within a minute. Skyler decided this is where he would greet them. He jumped up on the rail of the bridge, and he walked across until he reached the middle of the bridge with perfect balance. At the middle, he stopped, turned, and looked down at the wild river below. The snow that had melted in the mountains was just reaching them. If anyone jumped into the water, they would be whisked away by the current. He just stared at the water, as the siren was practically on him. Skyler knew at any second the police car would come around the bend and see him and come to a stop. He paid no attention to anything but the fast-moving river. When the police car rounded the bend, within seconds the car came to a screeching stop, cutting the road so no one could pass. The officer inside opened his door, pulled his gun, and pointed it at Skyler. "Skyler Grant," shouted the officer, "you are under arrest for the murder of Isis Stone." Skyler did not move or even look at the officer. He just kept his gaze on the river. He cracked a smile. "Only if you knew what you were getting yourself into," Skyler said to himself. "Put your hands over your head and turn to face me." Skyler ignored the officer. He was just to focus on the river, as how the waves splashed against the only visible rock. This rock had to be big to stick out of the river and cause the rapid splash against it. It was then Skyler noticed another siren that was very close. He was so focused on the river he did not notice it. Within a few seconds, the second car arrived. It too screeched to a stop, and the officer was out of his car with his gun drawn too. "Son, you don't want to jump. Those waters will kill you," said the second officer. "Just get down off the rail. We don't want to hurt you." Skyler didn't even acknowledge the second officer, though he did make a move. He raised his hands and looked at the small field that was between the woods, a memory of his childhood him. Jared and Isis playing in this very field when they were in 5th grade, playing tag, jumping in on the hay barrels. Good times. Wonder how we would have lived back then if we knew our fate. Skyler turned and faced the two officers, still crouched behind their doors with their guns pointed at him. He jumped down from the rail and looked at them. He looked at both officers and cracked another smile. "Do you really think you need those? I am not armed. Also, if I was going to try to get away, I would have disappeared into the woods by now." "Put your hands on your head," shouted the first officer. "You mean like this?" asked Skyler, mockingly raising his hands and placing them on the back of his head. "Is this what you want? Now walk and put your head on the hood of the car," said the second officer. "Officer Olson, is that you? Man, you have gotten old. Do it." "Nope, you haven't changed. Still strict as can be." "Shut up and do as you're told," said the first officer. "You want me to put my head on the hood of the car, right?" "Yes." "Which car?" "Don't joke with us." "I am not. There are 2 cars, and there are 2 hoods. I am the same amount of space between the both of them. I just don't want to make the wrong move, or you might shoot me." "My car," said Officer Olson. Skyler turned and faced the second car, walked until he couldn't walk any further. Skyler went to put his head on the hood, but halfway down, he stopped and raised until he was straight again. "But I just meant this hood. I'm not sure making out with it is such a good idea." "Laugh it up. You're going away for murder. We will make sure to use all of this at your trial. Resisting arrest." "Tell me how I am resisting, because I am sure I'm just being a smart mouth." "Shut it. Put your head on the hood now." Skyler shook his head, put his head on the hood. The first officer moved from his door around the front of his car and over behind Skyler. Once he reached him, he holstered his weapon and grabbed his handcuffs. He grabbed Skyler's left hand, bent it down behind his back, and cuffed him. Not so tight. Not so tight. I cheap easily. Shut it. Hillary Stone is a good friend of mine, and I have seen the pain she has gone through due to the death of her daughter. I'm going to personally see to it that you go away for a long time. The officer grabbed Skyler's right hand, bent it back like the left, and cuffed him. This time, a little tighter. Ah, said Skyler, flinching from the pain. I'll remember that. Good. Put him in the car. I'm going to go up to the high school. I'll meet you back at the station. On it.
So, Adam, what was your thoughts on...
She took a seat upon a seat.
I knew you were going to harp on that.
She took a seat upon a seat.
I knew that was going to be the first thing you...
Give me that manuscript for a second. This first chapter, I mean, first of all, we get like...
Well, no, first off...
By the way, my performance of this first chapter is amazing. That's right. We have the officer is Irish. The detective is Midwestern. That's at least what I was trying to do. Skyler is... What the hell? He was just whiny teenager is what I went with.
Probably. He's like 14, 15.
Yeah, I went with bratty-ass teenager.
I think
which, by the way, you wrote the most bratty-ass teenager role ever.
Yeah.
The dude overestimates everything about himself.
Oh, yeah.
But sadly, he can kind of back it up.
Yeah. But the funny thing about the first chapter...
Oh, yeah, because it was Officer Carey.
Yeah.
Officer Caddy.
The funny thing is about this first chapter, that first scene,
yes.
Adam, is I don't know why I was thinking. I thought maybe because it was just more interesting, it would grip you if I started this way. But you never see Mrs. White ever again.
I know.
Never again. Hillary White. Actually, I believe at some point in this novel, her daughter name becomes Hillary White. Yes, I think I remember switching it at some point in the novel to the daughter is Hillary White.
I haven't gotten there yet.
If I remember correctly, you'll find out in chapter like 5 is when you get if you heard first name is Isis, but at some point it does change to Hillary White. I'm almost certain on that.
Okay.
But the fact
by the way, Isis. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
You made me read that out loud.
Yeah.
Skyler Grant is actually in love with the terrorist organization. He's like, a terrorist organization. I love you.
Yeah,
Why?
That name is not.
No, it does not stick
very well.
In any further writing of this.
Yeah.
That is definitely something that is being erased.
I love it. The funny thing is, I love that name is for ISIS, but it does not work anymore.
Nope.
Not at all.
It's like having a wonderful, happy, jovial German character named Adolf.
Yeah.
It does not work anymore.
Nope, it doesn't work anymore.
Cannot do it.
Nope. That one person ruined it.
Exactly.
That group ruined that name.
It is ruined.
So, but yeah, you never see Mrs. White. She's referenced multiple times, I think, at least one more time. I think reference. I don't even think she shows back at the end, but we'll get to there. But this book would have been so far better to start off with the next scene, when you're introduced to Skyler.
But, by the way, the bridge, when we say mile marker from town, is it like 1 mile to in town or to the very edge of town?
I couldn't tell you that from back then.
Yeah, that was like a lot of distances.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of my writing at that time, because I like one of the things I loved about some of the books I've read around that time and was still kind of listening to was somehow I got books that just you felt like you could follow them.
Yeah.
And this not in this. I don't know if it's in this book. I do it that much in this book, but for my Marks of Valyria series, I was determined to be able to follow it turn by turn.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure because I was even a worse writer then. Oh, by the way, I should give you a warning. I didn't do this beforehand for a reason, because I wanted you to hear this first chapter without this. Yeah. This is a first draft. No editing whatsoever has been done to it.
What? No.
I know. Yeah. no writing has been done. The editing was done to this. It's only a first draft, so that's why how bad it is, and why almost all the characters will probably sound the same. Because at this point in my writing, I believe I was terrible at giving my characters their own voice, unless I had a distinct understanding of the character. Anyway, yeah, this book would have started off so much better with the introduction of Skyler, because he's the fucking main character.
But
yeah, so many questions.
First of all, at no point would any officer take this much lip.
It's a young adult novel.
I know. Which is one of the things that I do not enjoy about young adult novels. No offense to anyone who absolutely loves them.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that kids get away with saying a lot more.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that this is, it's like, someone needs to, smack this kid right upside the head and put him to the woodshed. Or it's like, no, but there would be a whole lot of shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking to you. You're wanted for murder. Toss you into the back of the car. Buckle you in because we have to. And then we're going to take the bumpy road in. Have fun back there.
Wait, now, remind me. Well, in this chapter, is it mentioned why he's wanted for murder, or is that later? I think it's later, isn't it? That's just him arresting him. I think it's in the chapter 2 we find out why he's wanted for murder. Because it's more about him just like describing what's going on, him being arrested, and then putting in the cop car, if I remember correctly. I think we're told he's wanted for murder in this chapter.
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell we didn't listen to it because Adam pre-recorded that stuff, as I mentioned. So.
And by the way, right now it's Hillary Stone.
Oh, Hillary Stone.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. It does say death of her daughter.
Okay.
But it's like right at the end of the chapter.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's like we don't know why. It's the next chapter. So you have to wait for the next episode. To find out the reason why.
And the hardest thing that they do is tighten the cuffs a little too much.
Yeah, I know.
Adam, sorry, what?
Read that spot where he's at Skyler's getting gripped. Like, what you want me to put on what car? What hood?
Okay.
Like, and how I actually said it.
Now walk and put your head on the hood of the car, said the second officer. Officer Olson, is that you? Man, you've gotten old. Do it! Nope, you haven't changed. Still strict as can be. And I'm like, that's the moment. That right there is the moment that in any other story, taser. And that was the moment. And Skyler said to himself, that was the moment that I peed myself.
Yeah.
No, instead, it's just him being like, you want me to put my head on the car? Yes. Which car? Don't joke with us. I'm not. There's 2 cars and there's 2 hoods. Which one?
No. The part actually, there. Actually, what does it say there?
Yeah, I am not. There are 2 cars and they are for.
Yeah, that's the part I
wanted. You used the wrong therefore.
Yeah.
And I think I was able to just say it.
Yeah.
And I didn't pause there. Maybe I did. Leave a comment, really, seriously, please.
But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh wow. Because
usually it's whoever's telling you to put your head on the hood is the one that is you go to their car.
Yeah. Remember,
Skyler's over there being like, come on, tase me, bro. Tase me, quick.
Yeah, it's...
And he's wanted for the murder of a teenage girl.
Yeah.
He is going to be tackled the moment that they can. They may not hit him, but that's still going to be like a 300 pounds of force coming down on top of him and like, wham, you are now being arrested.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking gear and everything.
Well, maybe, because because what you learn later on is they're responding to a call. The closest officers. That's why I know.
Yeah. Also, they're responding to a call, as I find out later.
Yeah.
Of something happening at the school.
Yeah. And
they should be like, and pop. He's like, ow!
If I remember correctly,
you popped me.
You won't find out what happened at the school for like into like chapter 10.
Oh, sweet!
Like when I talk about this is non-linear, Adam, I mean non-linear.
It is
linear. Like we get to like you get there, you find out. Like I had this idea, like okay, well, it's basically a Christopher, like it's almost like momentum type thing, but memento type thing, but far worse.
Memento is an awesome movie, by the way.
No, I mean like, jumping. Like there's logic and reason.
Oh yeah. This one does not have it.
No, this is more like what's the word? What's the show? Lost on steroids.
But I can see there is I have read 99% of this. There is a story here, and in further drafts, it can be. Because right now, you just picked up the marble and you started to chip away the corners. Yeah. And we're like, no, we see it. Now let's start fixing it. You're like, okay, we need a new bit of marble for that, though, because, wow. Look, I'm just going to say wow. It's like Da Vinci's over there going, okay, so...
There's something here.
He's good, but...
there's something here.
Mamma Mia!
For your first attempt to make a statue.
Absolutely.
Better beautiful. Than most. But we're going to go over here and try again.
But we need you to do it again. Same thing, just better.
And start over.
I mean, now that you have this first draft, I say you can use this to do the plan to get your better draft.
Well, that's when you talk about pantsing and everything. Basically, your first draft is your outline.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it.
I mean,
so
other than, seriously, she took a seat upon a seat. He worked in his dark blue jeans and black Converse All-Star shoes.
I'll tell you this. What happens when I write is like when I get going.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like...
Oh, no, I can see that, you are... It's typos.
Oh, yeah. Typos and missing words.
There are plenty of sentences where I've been like, what?
Yeah, it's
there is a chapter where somebody responds with what as the line after. Yeah, chapter 2. That's where that one happens.
Yep.
And that what? It's a realistic what from me because of what I just read. But you're gonna have to. That's chapter 2. That's not this week.
No.
But chapter 1. Oh, I enjoyed it.
That's good.
Yeah.
There's definitely. I do think that again. I don't know what I was thinking of starting with the mom.
I apologize to everyone. Much like my narration, I am narrating for the first time ever on a first draft.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of firsts here, ladies and gentlemen.
I would love to see some of the best voice actors out there. Read a terrible first draft.
Do you know who my person that I wish I could be?
Who?
Heath Miller. Narrates the He Who Fights with Monsters series.
Because he's local.
No. Maybe. No, but like I absolutely the man does a great job. I have a minor stutter.
Yeah.
And I get ahead of myself and I was sight reading it and one taking it.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. Normally I would have had him not do one take, but it's like he's doing it for free.
Yeah.
And also, it's not meant to be taken seriously, so it's fine.
Yeah, one take.
So, but yeah, there's definitely, again, I don't know why I thought...
They don't call me the one-take god for nothing, all right? I'm serious about that. By the way, my voices are absolutely terrible, but I love doing them.
Wait until we get to the chapter.
And they're really inconsistent.
Wait until we get to doing them live. We're actually doing them.
Oh, that's going to be even better.
After chapter 5, he's going to actually read it while here. So you'll probably hear me laughing or going like, oh, God, I actually wrote that.
I am going to be doing it live.
So, but you have 4 more chapters to get through before we get to those ones. But yeah, again, I don't know why I started off the way I did with the mom. Some reason I was like, hey, this will draw intrigue. And in a sense, it kind of does a little bit. But since the fact that she doesn't play a role at all, or you never see her again.
5 chapters, I have not seen her once yet.
Yeah. Oh no, she's only referenced.
And as far as I've read, yeah, there's one reference.
And I don't think she, even at the end, with a happy air quotes around that ending, I don't think you ever see her in there. They show it there. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's really all we have to say about this chapter, because who knows? It was really more the opening chapter of what I had to say. And Adam's, she took a seat upon a seat.
Well, I mean, it's not actually took a seat upon a seat. It was Ted, said Hillary, taking a seat in a seat.
In a seat.
I had to be all serious about that.
Yeah, but
I went over that line a bunch of times. Now I also understand why narrators receive it more as a script than as a book.
No, they read them like a book.
Yeah, some of them receive scripts.
Maybe that's how they prefer to do it.
I mean, I would prefer that. That way I know whose line is what.
Yeah.
I can always hit the voice correctly, as long as I remember it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with voice acting. You quickly learn how to recapture the
I have a tough time with Danny Fox.
I know.
And that is one consistent voice that I've been doing.
Oh, I know.
Danny Fox. And the llama. The llama. Oh, wait, it's the exact same voice.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say, isn't Danny just a llama?
Yeah.
You've been doing a llama.
Just a slightly higher key.
Because it's a female.
Yeah.
Exactly,
I'm
right?
Danny Fox.
All right. Danny Fox is a baby face
Oh,
now.
man. I need to add that voice into this at some point.
God.
By the way, the detective. Just wait until Chapter 2, he comes in, and I have given him a great voice.
All right, we're going to wrap that up here.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. It does really help me grow my channel with the algorithm.
It costs you nothing.
Yeah, it costs
and
nothing.
And it means everything to us.
Yeah, it really helps us grow. If you enjoyed this, I have other content on writing and writing advice. So hit that subscribe button. You know what? Smash the
bell?
No. It's smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. So, yeah.
Oh, and please leave the comments down below.
Let me know. Tell me what you thought of this first chapter and how bad it is,
and how bad my narration is.
Yeah, I really want to see what you think of the overall.
Please tell me that I should quit doing that. But remember, we have 4 more shows of me doing that already.
How many chapters are there total?
Let's see. Whew, that's 45. Yeah, and epilogue, so 46.
Yeah, so you have 45
Probably
more.
45.
You got 45 more chapters of this because we're doing the whole thing.
We're doing the entire thing.
I don't care if this thing doesn't do well with the algorithm.
Not at all.
I'm doing the whole thing. It's content
entire
for me.
thing.
It's content for me.
Hell yeah! Put the content out there.
But yes, thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Oh wait, there's 2 videos
What?
up on the screen
Seriously?
now for you to check
For
out.
crying out loud.